All right, welcome back everyone to a setups video. So I've already done with the review, so I'll just go over the setups that I've come up with for the week. Let's start with the metals because again, metals seem a lot more tradable as compared to any other asset class. So silver, as you can see, both silver and gold closed as an inside week. So what's an inside week? An inside week is a weekly candle that closes within the highs and lows of its previous week. So this is the previous week's high, previous week's low. You can see the previous week's candle. Sorry, this was the previous to previous week's high and previous to previous week's low. And you can see the previous candle closed within it, so it's an inside week. Why do I love trading it? Well, there's a high probability that this week the market might hit either the low or the high. In this case, it has already gone and breached the low. Okay, so silver already was out of our reach, even when we came to the screen. So I went ahead with gold, and this is my setup on gold. I doubt that's gonna get filled, but the plan is basically to take the market to the other end because we believe that there's a very high probability that the market visits that level, which is the previous week's low, without taking us out. Okay, and basically what I'm trying to short is a local area of support, a breach of a local area of support, quite a hard breach, right? And expecting the market to hold on to this local high or that body. Okay, not gonna go over the detail as to why I use that as a stop. Okay, just understand that that comes from experience. Okay, so that's it. That's it for the gold setup. We are looking to short gold because it is an inside week. We are looking to take it to the low of the week, low of the previous week. That's it. Done with metals. Let's go on to oil. We are currently in an active trade of oil. So how's the trade looking? Let's go. Yep, there's the fill and the market has gone down. Now there are two orders here on oil, and well, why there are two orders? We'll have to go back to previous week. But first, let's have a look. Why are we shorting oil? Okay. So again, open of the week, lower low, clean break below the last week's low. So we are shorting any pullback, right? Any pullback inside the previous week's candle to target the 1.2x extension. So the setup's quite simple. Break of previous week's high to the previous week's 1.2x extension. And the context for that is a nice hard downtrend on the H4 and the H1. Now as to why there are two orders. Okay, so if oil was any other currency, or if oil was, let's say, a metal, right? If I compare oil's price action to metal's price action or currency price action, I would have had only one order, and that order would have been this one. So you're shorting any of these poor highs up there, expecting the high of the week to hold. Okay, and we're targeting that. So the trade would have looked like this. So entry would have been the same. Okay, the entry would have been pretty much the same. I would have expected this high to hold, and that would have been a target. So it's a 2.18 hour trade, and I would have gone full risk on that. Now as to why I have my stops there. If we go back to previous week, right, we have decided to treat oil like indices. So what I do in indices is that if I come up with this kind of an entry, right, and that as my stop and that as target, I basically place an entry 50% above my drawdown. Okay, so if I have to go and check the 50% drawdown of my setup, so that's there, right? So the order is going to be there and the stop's going to be extended, not similarly, but somewhere close to the original stop. Okay, so the trade would then look like this. So that's my main entry, or that's the way I like to enter on oil. And that is indeed the second entry, which is up there, right? That's our second entry. One of the reasons why I've not stuck to my logic, right? My logic of going 50% beyond the original entry is because of the market conditions. The market conditions seem quite ready to go down, right? They don't seem very stuck or in range. So that is one of the reasons why I've entered 50% of the size there, and I've entered 50% of the size there instead of going all of the size there, right? And we already know why all of my size is not going in that entry. So I know it got a bit complicated, but if you don't want to know why there are two entries, just think about and just want to know about this setup. It is basically a short after the market broke down the previous week's low, and we are looking to take the market to the previous week's 1.2x extension. That's it, right? Currently, we've only been filled 50% there, and the market looks good to go. But then we'll leave things as they are. So they're done with oil, done with metals. DAX. We've lost 2 trades in a row in 2 weeks. I am not that willing to trade DAX. Okay. So again with DAX, I'm not going to go ahead and say anything. I'll wait for tomorrow. I'll wait for tomorrow's London Open. Okay. So I'll wait for tomorrow 1:30 p.m. IST before I even comment on DAX. So DAX has been put on hold. S&P. Again, no comments. High of the month was in at the start of the month, and ever since then the market has only gone down. It has reversed pretty much all of the gains after the ATH break. No, okay, not all of the gains, but quite a lot. Right, so that is the all-time high break, and this was all of the gains. More than 60%, 65% of the gains have been reversed. Now, I'm not saying all of that is going to be reversed and the market's going to go down and then maybe it goes up, but there is a high probability that the market comes for that. Okay. So anybody who probably believes that the low is in, some 60-70% Fibonacci level has been hit, I would not come to that conclusion this quickly. Okay. And then if you go and look at NAS is pretty much preset almost 75% of its previous all-time high break gains. So no comments on indices. If they provide us with a setup, we might take it. Okay. But so far, I don't think they will. But let's be open. Okay. Let's be open to ideas. So nothing on US indices. DAX we have put on to hold until tomorrow. And I've already done with these 3. After that, I'm going to come to currencies because we have currently only 1 trade going on in currencies. Nothing on Euro. I've got nothing. Euro GBP hit target before it hit our entry. So yes, we had an entry there on Euro GBP with our stop below this low. The market came into the last week's high. Okay. And then immediately hit the 1.2x extension as the target. And I have taken out the orders. Right. I've taken off the orders. Now again, in this case, just like in oil, we were shorting a breakdown of the previous week's low towards this 1.2x extension. In Euro GBP, we are basically trading a breakout of the previous week's high towards this 1.2x extension. Okay. The trade played out quite beautifully, and I could have basically entered a pullback into the previous week's high, targeted the 1.2x extension. I didn't. For me, this was very risky because the market could have easily taken out all of the lows, even that low. Okay. Held on to the last month's high and then popped up. So even this was a risky bet for me, and that didn't get filled, and the market hit, and the asset hit the target for the week, and I'm done. Right? If I get a clean break and hold above the 1.2x extension, I might look to target the next level because there are still quite a few days left within the month. So why not? So once we get a clean break and hold above that fib level, we'll target the 1.5x fib level. That's it. Nothing on these guys. Yeah, they've done nothing off of the open and they're in a downtrend. So naturally, if they've gone up about after the open, then that's skeptical to me. Moving on to USD CAD. USD CAD, yes, we do have an order on USD CAD. Very 50-50 in my opinion. The risk is very low on this. Okay. Risk is low on this because in this case, again, we have the similar trigger. So we have a clean break and hold below the 1.2x extension. Okay. And we have multiple sort of breakdowns below that level. So confirming that the market has held on to the previous week's low. Broken down below the previous week's low. So any pullback into that high or towards the weekly open is a short. Expecting the provisional high of the week to hold. Basically expecting this highs to hold. Giving it a huge buffer. Now the buffer is quite questionable even from my standards. Because if the market has to go down, it might not come back above that high, right? The maximum, I would say the stops could have been there, but extra 2 to 3 pips given because again, even I cannot explain that, right? I must have had some sort of a theory in there, but that's okay. So the trade has triggered, right? And the trend of the market on the H4 and the H1 is on a downtrend. So we have a nice trigger, we have a downtrend, and when it comes to structure, in this case I am not aware of the structure. I don't know what USDCAD is trying to do. So context derived in this case is purely from the trend and the triggers, and that's it. Okay, nothing else. We have no other confirmation or anything, and I think that was reason enough for us to enter a trade with low risk though. So currencies are done, and indices and metals and oil section is done. How much? Okay, just only 7 minutes. That's lovely. Oh no, it's stuck at 7 minutes, so it might go beyond that. Final trade, Bitcoin and Ethereum, basically crypto. Okay, we're going to go long crypto. Okay, and have a look at the area where we are trying to go long. So as you can see, the market's coming to the SSA, and it's also coming to the Kijun. It's nicely accumulated. It's starting to move back up. Not only that, to me, this is a range low bounce. So this is range low, and that is pretty much range high. So from range low to range high. So we are looking to buy any pullback towards range low. Expect these lows to hold, as we believe that the range low is in, and target the range high. That's it. Simple trade. Structure based trade. We do have the trend. So we have structure, we have trend, and we also have the triggers. So in this case, I am going a bit high on risk. Okay. And I'm not going long Ethereum because everything that is correct with Bitcoin is actually incorrect with Ethereum. So Bitcoin has hit its range low. Ethereum has broken down its range low, and this could be a deviation, but it is not confirmed yet, right? When the market closes above, right? When the market closes above this level, right? Or if we get a consolidation near pink, then I would assume that this is a deviation and the market is going to the upside, and then we'd buy a pullback. Okay. So structure wise, Ethereum not good. Okay. Trend wise, yes, it is there. Trigger wise, yes, it is there. Another context can be derived from Ichimoku. So if you look at the Ichimoku cloud of Ethereum, that is actually very nice. So you can see the accumulation happening below the Kumo, right? I already told you guys that there are probably trapped sellers in there. So the market did a revisit of that level. So in this case, it even got some trapped buyers to close some of the positions, and now it's starting to rally up. So any pullback, this is an inside day candle. Any pullback towards the inside day high is a buy. Why? Because we've already had a break above the inside day high. Okay. So any pullback towards the inside day high is a invitation to shorts to come and open their positions. But since we are already long biased, we expect the inside day low to hold, right? And that liquidity grab was done. Market's no longer going to visit this region. That's a guarantee. Guarantee not from the market, but guarantee from my side as a trader. Okay. So if you're long biased, there is no point in putting your stops there. Okay. You can get away with putting your stops there, anywhere in there. That's fine. And it pull back towards the last week's, inside day high is a buy to target the Kumo, or you could even target the Kijun, or you could target the high. In my opinion, it's going and making a high into the 3.8k region. I firmly believe that. Okay. So that's it for Ethereum as well. That's it for crypto as well. Apologies if I have been talking too quickly today. Okay. Because I was so thorough with my analysis, I just went over the setups very, very quickly. Okay. So you can see we had a 26-minute video there and a 7-minute video there. So approximately, I would say 35 minutes of work went in there, 34 minutes of work went in there. And then, we also did some, off the screen analysis as well. When I'm not recording, I also do look at things very, very deeply. And that is why I've just quickly gone over all the setups. If you have any doubts, if you made this far, if you have any doubts, please do write in the comment section. I would definitely like to address a doubt. Sometimes that actually helps me reanalyze things. Okay. So thank you for watching, and bye bye.